I'm ready for war.
Today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Whiteout conditions throughout the Great Plains sure made travel difficult, but we're still expecting a full house at Empower Field at Mile High here in Denver. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
So here are the Broncos backed up to start their initial drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So here are the Raiders now with great starting field position. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
A nice burst there as he'll get about 7 that time on the first down run.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's Young off play action. Rolling to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And they're going to bring him down just past the 15, and a flag down as well. This is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
He's going to look deep down the field. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Back to throw here. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Taking it about the 16. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
It got his man complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Or these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that doesn't happen to your team again. You got to take care of the ball.
Boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. call it a gain of a yard. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw here. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at the 18. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Young looks to throw on 1st down. Steps away to his left. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Young now after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Raiders are pouring it on. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. Denver's offense now set to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters.
And the Raiders have got him. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, They've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Back to you. Under 10, under 10, 10.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the silver and black continue to roll.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? He's got Gore. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Pulled in at the 24. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. His career already story just keeps getting better. That last carry, CD, he hit 14,000 career rushing yards.
Think about the accumulation of this yardage like you're going upstairs. Now he's at the doorstep of the top 5 all-time in NFL history in rushing yards.
Unbelievable. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Young will set to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Raiders are pouring it on. didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll look to throw again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Following the interception, Young on the move to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Young got this complete to the tight end Pitts. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They go play action. Young trying to lay one up deep. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we sit. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through this second half as we are back underway in Denver. Fielded just outside the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 64 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete, and he'll be out of bounds.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
This ball nearly intercepted. A once-in-a-season chance for the big fella, but he couldn't corral it. 4th down, straight ahead. And taken right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Young. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Off the play fake, Young. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
102 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the silver and black continue to roll. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
The point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Looking sideline, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Check 41. I got him. Mike 41, Mike 41.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
Let's go, D. Mike 41. You got to wedge that out.
Right back to him on 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter